This video was made possible by the amazing support of angelspit's Patreon. Subscribe to angelspit's Patreon and get a 300-foot high fighting robot so you can make your very own Beastie Boys video, which everybody wants to do. Plus a new track and a video each month. Videos like this one. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and get notifications. The Gospel of Merch according to Angelspit, Chapter 2, Manufacture. This video follows on from Chapter 1, Product. The link's in the description if you missed it. Once again, this video is geared towards small bands who are just starting out with merch. The focus is online sales as opposed to gig touring kind of sales, although you can obviously apply all of this to live shows. I will briefly touch on merch for gigs and tours at the end of this video. You will notice that I lean towards bulk manufacture, not on-demand manufacture. Bulk manufacture is cheaper per item, but you need to get a larger minimum printed. On-demand manufacture is much more expensive, like 2 or 3 times more expensive. But you can order the merch as you need it. If you want to start with on-demand printing, here's a few companies I suggest. Printful.com, manicmerch.com, Zazzle.com. So hold on to your wallet, here's where it gets real. The thing to remember with manufacturing merch is that the more you do it yourself, the cheaper it is. However, is your time better spent screen printing t-shirts or writing music? My advice, get a pro to do it. Pay someone who has the professional experience to do a professional job. I have learned it's faster and cheaper in the long run to get a pro to do it. Plus, I get to focus on making music. Here's my thoughts on manufacture. Make sure your designer is familiar with designing for screen print and color separation. This is CMYK, not RGB, and if you don't know what that means, you might need to get a designer. Each screen on the t-shirt increases the price. I usually get 2 colors, white and red, but I've done a few cool designs with white only. Half-toning can make or break the design, so make sure your printer can half-tone like a boss. Make sure the design looks good on the t-shirt and it's placed well. Put it across the chest, not over the stomach. You can put an additional design on the back, but it will increase the manufacture price. A pro screen printing shop will need a minimum order of usually about 30 t-shirts. You'll pay anything from $4 to $7 per finished shirt. You can safely sell a t-shirt for 15 to 25 bucks each, which is a profit margin of 200 to 400%, which is really good. It should also be noted that there are usually pricing tiers. For example, if you get 50 t-shirts, they're $6 each, 100 t-shirts are $4 each, etc. And with this in mind, it might pay to charge a lower price for your t-shirt, so you'll be able to sell more tees, so you'll be able to manufacture them at a lower price tier. So you'll make more money in volume as opposed to per unit. This is also awesome because you're going to have more room to reduce the sales price without biting into the manufacture cost. Remember, stuff goes on sale, sales are good. You need to know how many of each size and style you want. I recommend getting male/unisex and female/baby doll cuts. Here's the size quantity numbers that I usually get. This is for 20 t-shirts, so if you want more, just scale up the numbers. The ladies' baby doll cut, 2 small, 2 medium. The male unisex cut, 2 small, 3 medium, 4 large, 3 XL, 2 XXL, 1 XXL, and 1 4XL. Your t-shirt printer will know a go-to style for black t-shirt, the standard black band t-shirt. It's cheap, it's reliable, and it's 100% cotton. Get 100% cotton. Ditto with hoodies. Remember, there are many styles of hoodies, and the price reflects the quality. Just make sure it's cotton. Also, don't get a pullover hoodie because they suck. People prefer zips up the middle. If the design's on the front, a center zip is going to cut that design in half, and it's typical to put the main design on the back with a smaller split design over the chest. You can also put a design running down the sleeves. Remember, each additional design element increases the cost, hence hoodies get expensive quickly. If the manufacture price gets expensive, then the sales price gets very expensive. Keep in mind that a low profit margin means you can't reduce the price too much before you bite into your manufacture price. Plan on a 2 to 4 week turnaround time for t-shirts and hoodies. There are 2 ways to manufacture a CD, replicating or duplicating. Replicating involves creating a glass master and pressing from it. Now, due to the setup costs, it's not worth doing this for under 500 copies. Duplication is just basic CD burning. Some companies will do a small run of 50 or less, but when artwork and constructing digipacks are involved, it's common to have minimums of 100 or 250. There are many styles of CD case. You've got the dual plastic case, or the cardboard digipack, or the simple printed paper sleeve. I typically go with a 3-fold cardboard digipack as it looks cool and it's light. The plastic dual cases are great, but sometimes they smash during shipping, and people don't like smashed CDs. Trust me. You can also have a booklet or a poster inserted into the CD. For a minimum run of 250 duplicated or burnt CDs, it comes around $3.50 per unit. And this cost doesn't move much when you get more. For a minimum run of 500 replicated or pressed CDs, it comes to around about $2.80 a unit, or for 1,000 it comes down to $1.80. You can sell a CD for 10 to 15 bucks per unit, so you can see that they definitely help to pay the insane costs of producing an album. The recording, the producing, the mastering, the artwork, the photography. It's not easy selling CDs, and you don't want to be stuck with boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of CDs. Trust me, oh my God, trust me on that one. Remember, the cover artwork for the physical CD becomes the cover artwork for the digital MP3 release. The artwork from the booklet becomes the artwork for the digital booklet. Plan on 2 to 4 weeks turnaround for a CD. Vinyl also has a minimum order, usually 250 units. You can get on-demand printing, but it's crazy expensive. It's like 25 to 35 bucks per unit. Technically speaking, vinyl also requires separate mastering. The mastering for digital, like CDs and MP3s, has a different sonic response to mastering for a piece of vinyl with squiggly lines grooved into it. The advantage with vinyl is that all of the cool things you can do with it, like colored patterned, splattered vinyl, 12-inch art, massive booklets. You can have single, double, triple, or 4-way gatefold spreads. Manufactured vinyl comes out to about 15 to 18 bucks per unit. Vinyl sells for 20 to 30 bucks per unit, so the profit margin isn't that great. Plus, I've personally found it's really hard to sell vinyl. Only a fraction of the people who express interest in buying it will actually buy it. Plus, the more elaborate the vinyl package, the more expensive it is to press and the more expensive it is to ship. And with vinyl, shipping is an important factor. It can cost $30 to ship a record to Europe or Australia. We're going to talk more about shipping in the next video. Plan on 6 to 10 weeks turnaround time for vinyl. Just like everything else, the bigger the quality, the cheaper it is. You can never have too many stickers. They are a great promotional tool and an awesome present to include in your orders. Plan on 1 to 2 weeks turnaround time for such cool printed materials. If you want to sell these at a competitive price, you need to get them done in bulk from the factory, which means dealing with foreign manufacturers. I'll talk more about that in the next video. Buying from overseas means starting with a minimum order of at least 500. And this is a pretty big amount. But remember, you can update the content over time. The cost is about $2 per unit. And when I did this, I had a special shopping cart set up where you could load different albums onto the USB key. You could start with a $15 key, which would come preloaded with the latest album, then add additional albums for $8. This is a great merch item, and it took a while to recoup. But that kind of worked to my advantage, because with each album, I'd just update the content of the USB key. Plan on 4 to 8 weeks turnaround time for USB keys. A VHS cassette is about 6 to 10 bucks per unit. Minimum quantity varies. Make sure your audience is interested in these before manufacturing them. The sale price is about 10 to 25 bucks, depending on the length and the quality of content. Cassette tapes usually have a minimum run of about 100. 40 to 60 minute tapes are around about $1.40 each. And again, make sure your audience are open to purchasing cassette tapes. Button pins are the best. They are cheap to make and you can get them local, so they're like 30 to 50 bucks for 100. Bottle openers, caps, stress pillows, pens, etc. Once again, the more you get of these, the cheaper they become. You're gonna have to deal directly with the manufacturers, and usually that means going overseas. So if you deal with the manufacturer, these end up being crazy cheap. Plan on 4 to 8 weeks turnaround time on these items. I found I had to do a lot of work assembling the laser cut jewelry, researching the laser cutting shop, researching the material, making sure that the actual jewelry doesn't break because acrylic breaks really easy. Getting the chains, the parts, the tools, assembling it, the packaging. The more you do, the cheaper they are, which means it's a larger profit margin, but it's less time making music. And I'm a musician, not a jeweler. Or at least I make noise. So get someone else to do it and pay them. Yes, you will be sacrificing profit margin, but that's going to free up your time so you can do what you specialize in, which is music. Once again, if you want a solid profit margin, deal directly with an overseas manufacturer. Make sure the design is strong and simple, as the mechanics of the manufacturing process require simple designs. Plan on a 4 to 8 week turnaround time for these. Finally, I want to briefly talk about manufacturing quantities for touring. There is a magic number that you will need to discover. It's the income per attendee average. It's the total income from one show divided by the number of attendees. For example, you play to 50 people and your total merch income is $100, which means your magic number is $2 per head. Now, once you know this number, you can start accurately forecasting the amount of merch you're going to need for a show or a tour. So if you don't know your magic number, let's go with $2. Now for the maths. First, how many shows are you doing? Let's say 10. Second, what's an honest estimate of the expected amount of people you expect to come to each show? Let's say 50. Now multiply the shows by the expected attendance by the magic number, which is 10 shows times 50 people per show times $2, which equals $1,000. So this is a rough estimate of what you can expect to sell. So we're going to pack $1,000 worth of merch. Actually, maybe 1,500. We're going to estimate that half of your sales will be t-shirts, which is $750. Now, if we're selling them for $20 each, that's about 40 t-shirts. Remember the size breakdown I mentioned earlier? Print double that. I'm going to estimate a quarter of your sales will be CDs, so that's $375. Now, if we sell these for $10 each, that's about 40 CDs. Therefore, the remaining 25% will be miscellaneous merch. So that's $375 worth of wristies, buttons, badges, you get the drift. Now, this merch should last the entire tour, but if you want to be ambitious, because ambition is good, pack a second batch of merch, maybe with half the quantities of the initial batch, and ship this box to a midway venue. This is insurance, just in case you run out of CDs or t-shirts in a certain size. Remember to log the numbers, the attendees, the income for each gig, and the items you've sold, and especially the t-shirt sizes. A common mistake is that bands go out with way too much merch, and merch takes up space on the van. Put the merch in plastic tubs, not cardboard boxes, because cardboard boxes die quickly. Take a set of plastic drawers, put smaller items and CDs in it, and have one shelf for office stuff like scissors, tapes, Sharpies, more Sharpies, because you got to sign your CDs with something. And plus, Sharpies have a very mysterious habit of disappearing. Remember to keep a float for change. Use an electronic payment app like Square. Also, take a dedicated merch person. They need to be friendly and approachable and can hustle like crazy. I should mention, if you're touring internationally, merch might get hit with import taxes. I have horror stories about entering Canada and getting hit with a bill for merch that we were taking in for the tour. Customs agents who work at the border want to make your life hell. They hate you. They're failed musicians and they don't want you to succeed either. So always ship your merch ahead of time. And whatever gets left over, whatever doesn't get sold on tour, sell it on your online web store. And we're going to look at the different options for online merch stores in the next video. Final thought, always put your URL on wristies, stickers, and anything else free. QR codes are even better. Maybe link the QR code to a discount code or a free download. Free merch should double as a powerful promotional tool. And we tackle promotion in the next video. Thus concludes the Gospel of Merch according to Angelspit, Chapter 2, Manufacture. Remember to like and subscribe so you get a notification when we release the third part, the Gospel of Merch according to Angelspit, Chapter 3, Importing, Place, and promotion. In the next video, I'll talk about manufacturers, quantities, cost, and online shipping options. I'll cover importing from foreign manufacturers and the ethics involved. And remember to join angelspit's Patreon to see videos like this early. And also, it helps keep angelspit going. You rock, keep making your music.